One.
Hello, everyone. This is real estate coach Craig Proctor. Bring the mic up here. You hear me better now? How is everyone doing today? Thank you for being with us today on the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. I've got an amazing guest here today, longtime member, David Limon from Temecula Valley, California. David, you're doing an awesome job. First of all, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Craig. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, so we're going to talk about how you did it, how to make more money, have a better life in real estate. That's what we all want to do, have more freedom. Let's talk a little bit about when did you first meet me? Do you remember how long ago that was and where it was? And tell us a little bit about why that made a dramatic impact on you, because you're still here today, years later.
Yeah. So I saw one of your half-day seminars, and I went to see James in San Diego,
right?
About an hour drive, and I was just really excited. I liked the information that he provided. I went to the super conference, the next super conference, and I immediately signed up. I think I was the first one that got up and signed up that day.
But why did you do that? What was like exciting or refreshing? What got you excited enough to want to jump in and go all in on this?
It's thinking like an entrepreneur, not like a realtor. And it was the philosophy of building a business opposed to just being a realtor. And that's what really got me is it was really the business and entrepreneurial concept and philosophies that you have. And I've had businesses in the past, so I was just really all in on that stuff, not just being a realtor. And so I just wanted to learn more, and I wanted to be surrounded with more of that information. And I signed up immediately. So yeah, and then I signed up with Platinum.
What year was that?
2018 is when.
Okay. All right. So you've been hanging around here for about 4 years. What's happened to your business in the last 4 years?
So I signed up for Platinum in 2019. I was, thank you. I was awarded the Rookie of the Year award in 19. And in 2021, I was awarded the Quantum Leap Award. So business just jumped, just implementing a lot of the different things that plans and marketing things. So yeah, it just really worked out well. And in 2021, the beginning of this year, I jumped up to Platinum and got my own.
Okay, so beginning of this year was 2022, you mean?
2020. I'm sorry, 2022. This year, 2022 is when I signed up for your home sale guarantee realty. Yeah.
Okay, so now you've got your own Craig Proctor brokerage, as we can see in the background.
Correct, yeah.
So just so everyone knows, we started licensing agents like 30 years ago with the Craig Proctor Intellectual Property. And then we were licensing entire teams. So some of the biggest teams all over the country, a lot of them are, licensed with Craig Proctor. You'll see my marketing. You can see it when you get involved with it. It's like, that's how that agent in my marketplace was successful, or that other agent, that top agent in my state. This is where they get it from. So a couple of years ago, we started licensing entire brokerages because a lot of our successful teams wanted to open brokerages and they wanted to have some equity in what they did. Like David, as you know, I worked at RE/MAX for 25 years. Right. The only thing that I built up was the RE/MAX brand, right? All the agents I recruited, I sold over 10,000 homes. I couldn't really sell that because I didn't own it. I built the RE/MAX brand. You're building, you independently own your company, your home sold guaranteed realty. So for any of you watching this who would like to have your own Craig Proctor brokerage that eventually you can build up and sell and build equity, that's a good idea, right? What's your other option? In real estate, we don't see anyone retire, right? They have nothing to sell. Most real estate agents just work until they get tired. And if they've been at this for 25 or 30 years, they've built goodwill and they've built up their own, personal sphere of influence, but you can't sell your business because you simply just have a job as a real estate agent working for RE/MAX or Keller Williams or whatever. So anyway, when David heard about this, he's like, yeah, I would like to actually, if I'm going to do this for 5 or 10 or 15 years. I'd like to be working in a direction where I'm building equity for me, not equity for somebody else. Today, we're going to make sure that everybody gets to know who David is. He is in Temecula Valley, California. So first thing I want to say is if you're a realtor in Temecula Valley, you are going to be impressed with what you hear today. You should want to connect with David to at least have a conversation about what he's doing, and consider joining up with him, partnering up with him, because I promise you, you will make more money in your pocket net. Okay, because David pays for all the leads and gives you actual listing appointments and buyer appointments, and personally coaches you up on how to be a superstar and have a very high conversion when you meet with buyers and sellers.
Right.
Now, there is a split, of course, but you would actually make more money in your pocket net if you were just focused. Wouldn't you agree? If you were just focused on going from listing appointment to listing appointment to a listing appointment. Now, when you get the listing signed, when you partner up with David, someone else installs the key box, gets the key cut, takes the pictures, makes the feature sheets, puts up the sign. All that administrative stuff is taken away from you. So you literally are just focusing on selling houses. That's how you make a lot of money, and that's how you have more personal time. So this model, okay, that I created 30 years ago is used by thousands of top realtors all over the United States and Canada. So that you don't have to reinvent the wheel, is what I'm saying here today, folks. Everything you want to do in real estate's already been done by me and David and thousands of other Craig Proctor system members. Now, if you're not in Temecula, California, and you want to do what David's done, then you just want to contact me. And you can book a call with me at proctorcall.com. So where's my name? Over here, proctorcall.com, no space, proctorcall.com. That's my acuity day timer. And we can have a conversation, just like I initially did with David, about how you could create a real business in your marketplace, make more money, have more time and more freedom in your life. Okay, so let's get back to the beginning of this relationship, David. Before you met me, how many years were you in real estate, and what was your business model? How were you conducting your business before you heard of Craig Proctor?
So I was actually out of the business for about 10 years, Craig. I relocated from Orange County to my area, which is Murrieta, the Temecula Valley area. And I was out of the business. And in 2018, I decided I'm going to get back into the business. I started fresh. There was 0 sales prior to 18, zero sales. I came in fresh, green. And I just got lucky and happened to bump into one of your programs, and I said, "Yeah, I'm in on this thing."
Well, that was good news. At least we didn't have to deprogram you from all that bad stuff.
Right? Yeah.
You came in open-minded.
I came in with just knowing this is what I wanted to do. So yeah, I now granted, there's still that paradigm, right? That realtor paradigm that you come in because you're still working as a realtor, and that's one of the shifts that. It's you just got to get out of that. And I remember you saying, and you still say it, in order to get rich, you got to stop thinking like a realtor, start thinking like an entrepreneur and a businessman. And that's just one thing that really, really sticks in my head. And you kind of have to really get out of that. But yeah, I mean, that's those are the philosophies and things that you train. Great training, great coaching, from all aspects, from the lead generation, converting the leads, providing great service, wow service, and retaining the customers, because, one of the things that we are doing a lot of is repeat and returning customers in our system. And that's one of the things that you teach us and you train us is it's not just a transaction, it's a lifetime customer. So it's an entire process, an entire system that really helps you grow that business. So it's not just one transaction, it's multiple transactions for one transaction.
Well said. I mean, we call this the Craig Proctor system, but the truth is it's a number of systems that are linked together. So let's go through those systems. The first system that I introduced you to, David, the most important, the foundational system, is the lead generation system.
Correct.
Right. With the Craig Proctor lead generation system, you are making 0 cold calls. Okay, so there's no outbound calls to strangers. What we coach you up on is a system to offer buyers and sellers what they really want. So 100% of the buyers and sellers come to you.
Correct.
Now, when we have that system really working well, what happened to David is what would happen to all of you. You have so much business coming in that you can't possibly do it by yourself. Now, that sounds good in the beginning, but it's overwhelming. And then the next thing we teach you to do is we teach you how to expand your capabilities by leveraging yourself through other people.
Right.
So, David, you have the confidence now. It's almost like, it's almost like a volume control on your lead generation, where you could turn up the volume and you could generate more leads, or you can turn it down. How many people, like, what's your goal for this? Because here's the epiphany. I know, David, the first time you heard this, it got you thinking. Do you remember when I said to you for the very first time, how many homes could you sell if it had nothing to do with you?
There's no limit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Because as a real estate agent, what we're thinking is, we're thinking about how many homes we can sell when it has everything to do with us. And the answer is not too many. I mean, sure, we see the odd realtor that, I think in my second year, I sold 155 homes by myself without any licensed help. I was in my 20s then, right? I wasn't married. I didn't have any kids, but even still, that was not duplicatable. So many realtors come in and they can do the sprint, but they can't do the marathon. So I was making great money, 155 transactions, but I had zero life, not duplicatable. Then I figured out how to leverage off other people and grow my team. And I was doing 600 transactions a year, working 20 hours a week. Now, some people would look at that and say, well, 600 transactions, but you had to give half the money to your team. Okay, that's true, but that's still the equivalent of 300 transactions working by myself. If you guys could make millions and millions and millions of dollars a year, even if you had to pay half away to your team, that's still a lot of money for you. And now you have a business that doesn't depend on you, which, by the way, is the definition of a business. See, that's probably another epiphany, right, David? Like when you first met me, you actually thought you had a real estate business.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. You had business cards. You had a sign with your name on. You told people, well, I'm in the real estate business. But the truth be told is you just kind of had like a job. And, as a solo agent, it's not even a good job, really. If you're making $100,000 a year as a solo agent, by the time you back out all your advertising expenses and what you pay your brokerage, you're down to 70 or 80 grand a year, and you're working 7 days a week. That's not great. So anyway, that's, these are the moves that you've made over the year. You mentioned paradigms. When you're hanging around with these Craig Proctor members that are making millions of dollars a year, or even some of them $1 million a month, talk about how that helped stretch your paradigm.
So I go to every meeting, and you establish relationships with people that are producing a lot of transactions, and you realize, you learn. One of the things to me is, it's always, if they can do it, I can do it. And I see them doing it, and it's like, yeah, he can do it, she can do it, I can do it. And that's just what, to me, that's what keeps me going. And I know that I can do it.
It kind of kicks out all the excuses, because you've become friendly over the years with our members. And yeah, on a personal level, you're like, well, if this person and this person and this person, if they can all do it, I can do it. The fact that you see them, see some of these agents making $1 million in GCI a month is positive proof. If they can do it, I can do it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's there. It's there. I mean, it's not make believe. It's you're interacting with these people, and you're sharing ideas. Hey, what's working with you? What's working for you? And it's great. And you just lift the lid of what the possibilities are.
Let's talk about where you want to take this thing. What's your goal for your business, like a year from now, 2 years from now?
So in the next 12 months, the goal is to make the GCI gross revenues 1.5 mil. In
Okay.
3 years, get it up to 3 mil, 5 years up to 4 mil.
Okay.
Each of that. And
Uh,
and in the business model at 3 mil, that should net me $1 million.
okay. At 3 mil, you're going to net $1 million after you pay out the team members,
Right.
all the admin and marketing and stuff. Okay. What needs to happen in your business to get you to those levels? I mean, you kind of know what steps you need to take.
So right now I need outside sales agents and inside sales agents. That's the next step that I need to just fill the really just an overflow of transactions. I think just in the tracking that we're doing right now, there's just a lot of transactions that have slipped through the cracks because we just don't have the manpower, and that's where you have to leverage, people. But along the way, it's not just me. It's we're going to the individuals, the OSAs and the ISAs, and everybody that's involved in the organization is also going to benefit as well, because they're going to make a great living too. It's not just the organization, it's really the people. So if we help them accomplish their goals, we accomplish our goals.
Right. You only make money when they make money. So it's all about getting the right people on the bus and giving them the right training, coaching, support. Okay, so let's play a game here. The way for you to reach your goal is to recruit other realtors in Temecula Valley and help them reach their goals. So in other words, if I work at KW or Remax or wherever I work, why should I come and work with you? Why don't I just stay where I am now? Sell me on what would be the benefit of me partnering, because Remax has got the balloon all over the place. KW, why would I leave that, right, and leave all that and come and partner up with you?
So no more grunt work. You're not going to door knock. You're not going to cold call. The leads are handed to you. How many leads? However, not leads, appointments. Buyer and seller appointments are handed to you. You decide how many appointments you want to take. You tell us what your goal is, and what your income goal is, and your goal becomes our goal. So we break it down and we say, okay, this is what we need to produce. This is the amount of appointments that you need to go on a weekly, on a monthly, and an annual basis in order to reach your goal. You tell us what your goal is, and that becomes our goal. Then you're going to make sometimes we think as a realtor that we're already making a good amount of income and we got to work more. We got to have, we don't have enough time right now in the day. Well, that's not the case, because all of the stuff that you're doing right now is taken off your plate. You're not splitting your time by.
All right. This is a good thing to talk about. I join your team. I'm at KW, I'm at Remax, on whatever. And if I came to work with you, let's talk about things I would no longer have to do. What's all the stuff I don't have to do if I come? So I know that you're going to feed me listing appointments. You're not going to give me leads. You're going to give me actual listing appointments and buyer appointments. Right. And then I'm going to use your presentation that you're going to coach me up on. Right. But that's it, right? Like, that's all I'm doing is getting signatures witnessed. Let's talk about all the stuff I don't have to do.
So again, no grunt work, no cold calling, no advertisement. You don't have any ad spend at all. The money that you make is net to you. It's not, you don't.
So what you pay me, I keep. I'm not paying for any advertising. I'm not cold calling.
Right. Exactly.
No administrative stuff.
No administrative stuff. Yeah.
We have running around at Home Depot getting the keys cut.
No. We everything. We from the time that things are signed, whether it's a buyer or a seller. We handle all that stuff. We have an administrative team and a process and systems in place that automatically get done. So you're not running around doing.
So if I worked for you and I worked 20 hours a week, those 20 hours would just be in front of preset buyer and seller appointments, nothing else.
That's it. And training, of course, because we're going to train you up there. One of the things that we have, one of the things that Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty has is phenomenal training. So that's an ongoing.
Well, I'll be the devil's advocate, David. Every company says that, right? And a lot of it's BS, right? How many of you guys watching this have heard that from whatever franchise company with? Oh, we have training, we have coaching. Everybody says that, but you actually have a very organized training system here, and you spend an enormous amount of time personally coaching your team members, because the more money they make, the more money you make.
Correct. Right.
At most real estate brokerages, they talk a good game, but it doesn't really happen. The training's weak, and that's why there's very few superstars.
Right.
Like if you're watching this, folks, just look at the other agents in your office. Okay. David's only been doing this for 2018 with me. So like 4 years. Okay. He's talking about making $3 to $5 million. And he goes to regular meetings where he meets other Craig Proctor realtors that are making even more than $3 to $5 million in GCI.
Yeah.
And so David, that paradigm shift has gone from, I can't believe anyone makes that much money, to now you can't believe you're not already there.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Why them, not you?
It's just a matter of time now.
Yeah.
It's just, we'll get there. It's just a matter of time. Yeah.
What would you share to realtors about the Craig Proctor system? Let's say they've been in some time of coaching before. I mean, look at anybody that can spell coach is a coach today. I've been doing this for 30 years, but especially during the pandemic and the rise of social media, it costs, very little for people, so-called experts to proclaim that they're, they're gurus, they're coaches. What is it that attracted to you, and why are you still here 4 years later?
I think there's there's two people. One is, and you wrote this book, right? You wrote the book, The Rise and Fall of the Traditional Realtor and Sales Team. I think that and I agree with you, you have to have you're either going to be on a team, a successful team that is going to give you the tools, the training for you to make a good living and not have to give up your life to do it. If that's you, that's great. We can help you with that. But if you want to build a business and a true business and be an entrepreneur, then your system will do that as well. You can do either one. So where do you want to be? And it's not for everybody, building the business, but making money is for everybody and living a really good life. So you decide where you want to go, and it's entirely up to you. If you don't want to have you don't want to build a business, you want to build a team, that's fine. That's where we come in, and we can give you that life that, live a good living, make a good living, and live a good life, a good balanced life, not have to, give up your life to make more money.
It's funny, David, as you were talking about the book I wrote, I'm like, yeah, I should find it. Maybe I have a copy on my desk, but over my shoulder here, you can see the book.
There it is right there.
There it is. I don't know if you guys can read it. You can get this on Amazon. And I wrote this a number of years ago, but it says The Death of the Traditional Real Estate Agent and the Rise of the Super Profitable Sales Team. And, we saw this coming, like whatever this was, 10, 15 years ago, where it's going to be very difficult for the solo agent to compete and survive. And we believe, as we did 10 years ago when we wrote the book, that the future of real estate is you're either going to start up your own super profitable sales team, like David has, or you're going to join up with one. Okay. Now, if this was true, okay, so you might be skeptical right now, like everyone who tries to recruit you says you're going to be better off if you come and you work with me. But this is the real deal. If you're a real estate agent, isn't that what you want to do all day long? Just be in front of buyers that want to buy and sellers that want to sell? That's the opportunity that David's providing you. In fact, if he saw you doing anything other than meeting with buyers or sellers, he would slap you on the wrist. I've got a little plastic ruler here. He would slap you on the wrist. We don't want you doing anything except for witnessing signatures. That's how you would personally make a lot of money, but that's how you would make David a lot of money. Okay. Now, this is organized. This is not like a testing ground. This isn't a concept. I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm the OG of team building. So, David, why don't you give your contact information out? I want people to be able to reach you and, confirm you're the real deal. You've been doing this for 4 years. If they want to talk to you about potentially partnering up with you, what would be the best way to reach you?
They can call it this. Is it that number right there? Yeah, 951-477-4748. 951-477-4748. You can also email us at admin, ADMIN at YHSGR, the number one.com. Again, admin at YHSGR1.com.
You can get our book on Amazon. Again, it's a death of the traditional real estate agent and the rise of the super successful sales team. Okay, this is what's happening all over the country. Okay, I popularized the team back in the late 1980s, early 90s. I was the first real estate agent that had a team that's organized the way the modern team is organized, with a team leader and outside sales agents and inside sales agent, administrative people, database coordinators. This is what I created in my own real estate business. Many of you know the story. Within 3 years of having my real estate license, I was able to go from as dumb as a pile of rocks to the #1 RE/MAX agent in the world. And I kept being the #1 RE/MAX agent in the world for 20 years straight. Since then, I've coached 30,000 realtors, just like David, on how to make more money and have a better life, have more time and more freedom in their life. So if you want to book a call with me, you can do so free of charge. It's proctorcall.com. So just my name, Proctor, because it's that way, proctorcall.com, no space. You'll go to my acuity day timer. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions about where you are and where you want to go. We'll jump on a call. And what's the downside? It's a free conversation. That's where I started with David. If we hadn't have met, if we hadn't had that conversation, I don't know where David would be today. I think he's glad he had it, the conversation, because he's still here 4 years later, right, and he's got a thriving real estate business. So I believe you're watching this for a reason. You know, David found me, or maybe I found David, but we found each other for a reason. So I hope you will contact one of us. Contact David, contact myself. It's just a conversation. What's the downside? What's the worst thing that could happen? At any time, if you don't see value in talking to us, you just hang up the phone, right?
Right.
You might want to say goodbye first, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But why do we always look at things as what's the worst thing that could happen? Let's flip that around. What's the best thing that could happen? What if you found this interview by mistake or for whatever reason, and you're still watching it, and you're kind of compelled by this, and this is making sense, and maybe you're thinking, well, you know what? David's only been doing this for 4 years. He's going to make millions of dollars a year. Maybe you've been doing it for 15 years or 20 years, right? Maybe you know there's more to real estate than what you're getting out of this. Maybe you've got a little spark in you, because here's what I know about David. David came to me with a spark. Okay, there were other people at that same seminar, David, that heard the same message that you heard, and they walked out of the room and they continued to knock on cold doors and open houses and chase expireds and for sale by owners. So, but if you've got a spark in you, if you're watching this right now, then just take the next step. Introduce yourself to David, introduce yourself to me. There is no downside to this. At a minimum, we'll lay it all out, show you how this works, explain, WIFM, what's in it for you. Because what if this is true? What if I really have worked with over 30,000 agents? What if I've created more millionaire agents than any other coach, trainer, or guru? You'll get to meet them, just like David's got to meet them. It's extremely powerful when you're in a large room with agents that are making millions of dollars a year. Yeah. Like how our brain likes to play tricks on us? So David, had you not met all those agents, you might think, well, maybe that's true, maybe that's not true. Or if you met just a couple of them, here's what you might say. If you met just a couple of successful Craig Proctor members, you might say, well, that person's in Florida and I'm in California, and the market's different here. Or, they're a woman and I'm a man, right? Or they're 20 years in the business and I'm only 4. Our mind tries to play these tricks on us, right? Right. But when you meet hundreds of them at my events or when we do online sessions, it's impossible to say, well, they've got some special ability. No, everybody that actually applies this systematic way of doing things into the business, a couple of things happen. They start to make more money and they have more time off and they have more freedom. And David, when you went down that pathway, you said, I kind of like this.
Right.
You said, I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to keep going down that pathway because I want to keep making more money. I want to keep having more time off. I want to keep having more freedom. And now David gets to share that success with everyone on his team. The only way that David has a better life and more money is he's now recruiting. This is for all of you in Temecula Valley. You would make more money and have more time and more freedom if you just would join up with David. You just would. He can show you the backstories. He can show you the case studies. Why do we get into real estate and say, I am getting into real estate because I want to make more money and have more freedom? And when we have an opportunity like this, we don't chase it down. Again, guys, investigate. Okay. Or here's what happens. You stay doing what you're doing and you keep working harder. Are you making enough for a retirement? How much money do we need to retire today? Millions of dollars. We could live to 100 years old. Who knows? But most realtors are not prepared for this. Most realtors, they're getting by month after month, or maybe they're saving $3,000 or $4,000 or $8,000 a month, but it's not enough. You guys got to get serious about your real estate business, or you could be one of these 75, 80-year-old realtors. When's the last time you've been to a real estate agent's retirement party? Yeah, there's no exit strategy. Like, seriously, you've seen it, David. Agents work and work and work at this until they can't work anymore and they have no equity. They got nothing to sell. Yeah. They just do it until they can't do it anymore. So that's your other option.
Right.
Your other option is work yourself to death until you can't do it anymore. You don't have a sellable asset, right? Or come and partner up with us. This should be comforting to everybody. Do you realize that everything you want to do in real estate's already been done by me and David and thousands of other Craig Proctor members? No reinventing, no experimenting. You're not a guinea pig. All you have to do is plug yourself into us. So again, you got two opportunities to talk to David or myself. For me, just type into your browser, proctorcall.com, no space, proctorcall.com. You'll go to my daytime or book a day and time. For David, we'll put his contact information below. Okay, well, you could Google him. Just Google David Limon, Google him, okay, and he's in Temecula Valley. You'll find him there, but we'll put his phone number and all his contact information below. So, David, final thoughts before we wrap up this awesome interview.
Greg, thank you. Thank you for everything you've provided. You've shared a lot of knowledge, and I think a lot of people have benefited from what you've shared. So I just want to thank you. And again, if anybody out there, Craig says, you got nothing to lose, reach out to us, and we'd be glad to share what we have. And again, nothing to lose. Give us a call.
Hey, folks, that was David Limon, Temecula Valley, your home sold, guaranteed realty. Give him a call. I want to thank everybody so much for watching the Craig Proctor Show here today. If you have any comments, let us know what you thought of today's session. And again, if you want to contact me, you can do so by booking a call at proctorcall.com. I want to thank everyone again for watching. David, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Appreciate it.
We'll see everybody next time on the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show.